So we're going to multiply a binomial times a binomial. To multiply a binomial times a binomial, so 2 terms times 2 terms, just use distributive property twice. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, and what you need to understand is that we're going to take and multiply x times x plus 7. Now, we're not going to ever do this way again, but I just want you to see I'm taking x times this entire quantity, and I'm taking 5 times this entire quantity. Okay, that's all we're doing. So when I multiply, I get x squared plus 7x and 5x plus 35, and notice these are like terms, so I get x squared plus 12x plus 35. I have just multiplied 2 binomials. Okay, now the way you're going to see me do it most of the time you're just going to see me point my finger. But let's do it a little bit more. I'm going to take x times x and x times 6, so that's x squared plus 6x. Now I'm going to take negative 2 times x and negative 2 times 6. And notice where I keep my finger, so I remember that this is a negative. So that's negative 2x minus 12. Combine like terms. I get x squared plus 4x minus 12. Okay, so again, do it down here. We're going to try this. We're going to take 3x. And notice I just leave my finger here, and I'm going to multiply over here. So 3x times x. But loops are really good, especially when you're first starting off. It's probably a good idea to put, I'm going to multiply these two. I'm going to multiply these two. So 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times 1, and notice that's a negative 1, so it's a negative 3x. Move my finger over here. I'm now going to take negative 5 times both of them. Combine like terms. Okay, nothing too tough, right? It's not too tough today. You're going to find that. Okay, we're going to try this. Do you want to try it on your own? Yeah, go ahead. So hopefully you had a chance to try this one. I'm going to take 7x times 2x, so that's 14x squared. 7x times 9, that's 63x. Now I'm going to take negative 2 times 2x, negative 4x. Negative 2 times 9, negative 18. Combining like terms, I get 14x squared plus, oh shoot, now I have to subtract. Is that 59x minus 18? Yes. Okay. Now, that's distributive twice, and distributive property twice. That is a common method. Now, this next method actually is distributing twice. It's going to look exactly the same to you, but it has a special name. If you ever talk to anybody who's ever learned how to multiply binomials, they're probably going to say, oh, you FOIL it. And foiling it is great as long as you are always only doing binomials. What does this stand for? This stands for first, outside, inside, last. So it's a mnemonic to remember what you have to do. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to take the first terms, that's what this means, take the first terms and multiply it. 12x squared. Now I'm going to take the outside. On the very outside of my problem, I'm going to have 3x and negative 1. Now my inside numbers, 5 and 4x. And then my last terms in the parentheses, are 5 and negative 1. Now, isn't that just what we did right up here? Yes, it is. But sometimes it's helpful to remember what you're going to do. So distributing twice using FOIL is going to give you the same answer. It doesn't make any difference. Now combine like terms, of course. And then, there we go. There is one other method. Go to the back. It's called the box method. And this is if those other ones are like, man, too much, and you just want to organize it. What you do is you draw a box. And you put one binomial up at the top. And you put the other one off to the side. Whoops, that's a 4. Okay. Then you're going to multiply these two, 2x squared. Multiply these two, and it ends up right there. Multiply these two, right here. Multiply these two, right here. And usually, I can't say always, but usually you're always going to have your like terms right here, so you just combine them. So 2x squared, my like terms, 11x plus 12. And some people really like this method. I'll let you decide what works best for you. All of them give us the same answer. Okay, here we can do that same thing. 2y, negative 3, and I like to stick the negative over with the number. And then y plus 2. So I get 2y squared minus 3y, 4y, and negative 6. So I have 2y squared, 4y and negative 3y is y minus 6. Try this last one on your own, okay? I'm going to pause. You're going to try that one. So this is what your box would look like. 4x and 2, 3x and negative 6. Then you multiply, combine like terms, and you get 12x squared minus 18x minus 12. Okay, so that's the box method. So you've now been told 3 methods. Distributing twice, and then you can also call that one FOIL. These are the exact same. And then you have the box method. Now, the next type we're going to do is we're going to take a binomial times a trinomial. It is just the same as above, but you're going to distribute, and you're still going to distribute twice. Except for now, when I distribute, I have 3 to distribute to. FOIL does not work with this. FOIL does not work with this because you don't have just the 4 things that you're multiplying. So that's the reason I kind of like distributive twice. Now, box method will also work on this, so I'll show you both. So I'm going to put my finger here, and all I'm doing is I am taking x times every single term, and then I'm taking 4 times every single term. So I have 2x cubed, because I take x to the first times x squared, I add my exponents, plus 3x squared minus 5x. Now, just to emphasize my point, I'm going to do it in 2 different colors. So now I'm going to multiply 4 times everything. And it's a positive 4, so I don't have to worry about the sign. Plus 8x squared, 4 times 3x is 12x. 4 times 5 is 20. Now we're going to combine like terms, and when we combine like terms here, okay, always we want it in standard form, so start with your highest exponent, 2x cubed. Got it. I would not recommend crossing them off a lot of times, and if so, just do it with a very light pencil, because you need to be able to look back at your work, or your teacher needs to see it so they can give you partial points. I have a 3x squared and an 8x squared. I have a negative 5 and a positive 12. And then I have that negative 20. And there we go. There's my answer. Now, if I'm doing it by box method, I have to stop and think. I would do the x and the 4 is the way I would probably do it. And then I have 2x squared, 3x, negative 5. So it's just like with 2. So I get 2x cubed, 8x squared, 3x squared, 12x, negative 5x, and negative 20. But this time, these are going to add, and these are going to add. So 2x cubed plus 11x squared plus 7x minus 20. And notice we get the same answer. Okay? You try this one. Go. So hopefully you have the first part written down. I've taken 2x times everything here. That's in pink. Then negative 4 times everything here. Check your terms. It is very easy to make a mistake because you have a lot going on there. You have to multiply coefficients. You have to add exponents. You have to watch for signs. So just be very careful of what's happening there. Now we're going to combine like terms. I start off with the x cubed. You might have also done it by the box method. That would be great. Negative 2x squared, negative 12, 14, and 4, minus 28. Okay? Okay. Let's look at the homework. Now on your homework, same kind of stuff we've been doing. And still going to multiply binomials, binomial times a trinomial. Okay, now look at number 15. See how they have a trinomial times a binomial? You can leave it just like that. And now you're going to distribute 3 times. Or, what I sometimes like to do is rewrite it to be with the binomial up front. That is just my preference a lot of times, but it doesn't really matter. Okay? If I leave it this way, I just have to remember I'm going to distribute 3 times to just 2 terms. Okay? Either way is fine on that. So, same kind of stuff, same kind of stuff, same kind of stuff. Okay, I want to look at this one. We did not have one of these in our notes, and I'd like to look at it. You're going to finish it, but I'm going to start it. The cutting edge frame shop makes a map by cutting out the inside of a rectangular board. So this is a whole big board, and they're going to cut out that inside part to make a frame. This is a very common problem, frame problems. You'll see them lots of different ways, so just to let you know that. Use the diagram to find the length and width of the original board if the area of the mat is 184. So this is 184 in here, okay? And so we're going to go from there. So the reason this problem is so awesome is because we have to use like everything we've done so far pretty much. So what we're going to have to do is whenever we have these are referred to generically as donut problems, where you have to find the area on the outside is kind of what it's going with, and we have to find that frame. So what it wants us to find is the original piece of wood. So we're going to have to find what this side is. We're going to do that by finding x. But what we're going to do is we have to realize that in order to find this 184, I have to take the whole thing minus the inside, and I'm going to get what the frame is. But I'm going to set it equal to 184. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to kind of organize our thoughts. So we're going to talk about the outside. The outside is going to be 2x minus 3 times x plus 8. We're going to find out what that is. We're going to find out what the inside is. The inside is 2x minus 7 times x plus 4. Okay, let's do that right now. Go ahead and multiply those. This will be good practice for us anyway. Go. So did you find out that the outside came out to be 2x squared plus 13x minus 24? If not, pause it. Look at my notes. Okay, and then the inside, when you multiplied, you got 2x squared plus x minus 28. Good. Now we're going to subtract these two. So we're going to take the outside minus the inside. So it's always outside minus the inside is going to be equal to what the frame is. Okay, or we're going to take outside, sorry, not inside, the mat. This situation will be that rectangle on the inside. So in here, it's going to be what the mat is, this white part right here. So we're going to subtract those, and then that's what's equal to 184. So I'm going to actually take 2x squared plus 13x minus 24 minus 2x squared plus x minus 28. And that's all going to be equal to 184. One hunkin' big equation, isn't it? Okay? So be very careful. Notice what we're going to, and personally, I would go through and change my signs here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to change all these to their opposites. So I have 2x squared plus negative 2x squared. Yay. 13x plus negative x, that's 12x. Negative 24 and a positive 28 is plus 4. Okay? That's our equation we're going to solve. That's going to then give us x. Then we have to plug it in. I'm going to let you finish that. So your homework, you're going to finish solving this equation. And then remember, what they wanted was the original board. So this length by this length. Find out what x is equal to, and then you're going to find this length and that length. Great. Okay, that's multiplying a binomial times a binomial, or binomial times a trinomial. So good. If you have any questions, you know where to find us.